All righty, welcome back. There she is, Alex Windley, ready to rock and roll with us. Remember, you can follow her on Twitter like I and many others do at AAW_1998. Alex, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Hi, Orlando. How are you? How are you doing? I'm good.
I'm doing really good. I mean, it was a good weekend. The soccer team got a win. It was exciting. I agree with you, by the way. You tweeted out during the game that Indiana should be starting in the next game. You better get his ass in that lineup. But, Alex, it's one of those where I know it's not a great team. I still don't think they're very explosive offensively overall. But, man, I got to love the grittiness over the last 5 games. You get 2 wins, 3 ties. You're picking up points in 5 straight games. You can only feel pretty good about what's going on, at least right now.
Yeah, I think this Inter Miami team, Miami has a reputation for being a flashy city with the celebrities, but deep down, Miami's pretty blue collar. I know my parents grew up working multiple jobs, and there's a lot of people who are into that flashy lifestyle. So in a way, this Inter Miami squad has represented the true Miami. The guy that works, multiple jobs, the guy that isn't necessarily into clubbing and the flashiness. The guy that takes his family out on the boat on the weekend. So seeing this team, fight like that, and Matuidi was tracking back, and there was a sweat pouring off of everyone. Even Higuain, he was, putting in tackles and whatnot. It's you're right in how they're not offensively the flashy attacking team that we expected, but this team, they're starting to develop a bit of a gritty reputation, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's not. And defensively, that's where I think it all starts for them. They have found a way to be responsible on defense. I mean, yesterday there were some amazing efforts on defense.
Yeah, I even tweeted it out. Figal and LGP, they had several just brilliant. Like that was, I don't want to compare them to Maldini or anything, but there was some pretty decent last ditch tackling, very good tactical positioning from the both of them, and I was amazed at how well the back three, including Christian McCoon, who had a solid game as well. They played like a unit, and it's super encouraging to see after that 5-0 loss to the Revolution that defense get a bit patched up, and Neville working his magic to shore up that back line.
Your thoughts on Marsman? I thought he's clearly an upgrade. I don't want to pick on the McCarthy kid, and those of us that watch the team, we kind of knew that it was a backup that was starting the entire time, and bless the kid, he did his best, but you can tell that there has been an upgrade at goalie.
Yeah, for sure. And in last night's post game conference, Neville flat out said Marsman gives the team composure, and you see the difference between McCarthy, who a lot of it maybe wasn't his fault, but it's a clear upgrade to Nick Marsman. He came from Feyenoord, which is a big club in Holland, and he's the type of professional that Inter Miami needed to come in at the proper time and just be that rock at the back, so our defense can go ahead and play well and have that security behind them that, oh, my goalkeeper will not make a mistake. He has my back no matter what.
Your thoughts on Gibbs? Because I thought he was pretty awesome yesterday. I mean, I see your eyes open up and everything when I just mentioned it. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm very glad that Chris Henderson, the club's sporting director, he went after him. It was a very good move to get someone like Kieran Gibbs. He's experienced. He's good on the ball. He's a willing runner. He just brings that calmness to that left side that Inter Miami hasn't had for a while. And you see him yesterday combining with Pizarro, who had an okay game, and he made that spot his own. And even though he's not fully fit, in the post game conferences, Gibbs will tell you that himself. He's not completely used to the heat, and he's not fully 100% physically fit, but he gives it his all, and he just brings a different dynamic to that left hand side that we didn't have with a Breck Shea or a Jovan Jones. He's strong. He's willing to run. He had a couple shots on goal. They didn't go in, but he's made this team a lot better compared to say where Miami was at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, it's been a terrific pickup. And then the Vasilev kid.
Oh.
once they inserted him, you know, I got to give him a lot of credit too. Not only did he play well, but it seems like he got comfortable quickly. And you would figure that a young man like that, who's doesn't have a ton of experience, doesn't know these guys for anything, but he wasted no time trying to make a mark himself. And he was an impact from the second he got in.
Yeah, another very good pickup from Chris Henderson. He's a U.S. international, Indiana. He was born in Georgia. He's played for Ashton Villa's youth team. He's made a couple of first team appearances for Ashton Villa, but he came on last night and absolutely changed the game. He got the game winner. Him and Lewis Morgan combined really well on that right hand side. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up starting together in that same formation against New York City FC. It just works super well. Indiana is the type of guy that I've been screaming for this team to go out. Someone who just needs to run at defenders, be direct, just be hungry. Have that anger inside of them to just run at the defense, take the ball, and try to score no matter what. And I'm super glad that he was able to get on last night because that game was calling out for someone like in Indiana and Federico Higuain just to open it up. Nashville is the type of team to sit down and bunker, so Inter Miami needed someone like in Indiana to come in and just wreak havoc.
So Indiana's a guy, I agree with you, that needs to start. So on the flip side, you just talked about Pizarro being okay. Do you almost feel like they're trying to force this thing to kind of showcase him a little bit too, so they could try to unload him, in the offseason?
Yeah, I think I know Neville is saying Pizarro is a key member of the team, but report from The Athletic the other day did say that Inter Miami is shopping Rodolfo Pizarro just to clear him out, get some cap space, get a new DP spot. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And yeah, he did have an okay game. He didn't really create too much. He held on to the ball well, but the game really started to spread out when Federico came in, Indiana came in. And, as a DP, you want him to do more. Matuidi raised his level. Higuain has raised his level. Pizarro, he's been the same throughout the season, not necessarily raising his level, but he's been an average player. So, yeah, it's only a matter of time before Rodolfo ends up leaving the club.
And by the way, yesterday, Lewis Morgan was another guy that was just, on fire. And the offense is so much different when you have an Higuain, not an Higuain, a Federico, and you have Morgan creating for their teammates. And they did a marvelous job of that. That's one of the things I loved about watching them yesterday, that those two guys help give their team a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, and it showed in this new formation. It's given the guys a lot of freedom instead of maybe playing from the inside out. The team plays from the outside in, which suits the players that Neville has available. Morgan is a wide player. Vasilev is a wide player. Federico Higuain is a guy that likes to drop deep, and just roam around the pitch. Not necessarily having a set position, poking his head into wherever he can get the ball. And last night you saw with the equalizer, the two of them, Federico and Indiana, they combined on the game-winning goal. So this back three, this back five that Neville has switched to, it's been a bit of a revelation, and it's definitely something, a formation that though the coaching staff will use going forward, because it seems to be getting the best out of all of these players.
Yeah, it was a lot of. Lewis Morgan yesterday was putting some amazing, like he did last year. Last year he was their everything, and it's just nice to see that the coach has kind of fought through this whole thing and kind of figured out how these guys play. That's the other thing that we don't give Neville enough of a break, is that he doesn't know these guys. So it was you weren't gonna find the right formation and the right mix right away, and then you had to tweak it. So Henderson had to go find a couple of extra pieces to kind of help all of this, and it just seems like things are falling more into place. I still don't know if I don't even think they're a playoff team, but man, at least for the second half of the season, maybe we'll see some more respectable football like what we've watched here the last month.
Yeah, and it's no wonder that the team is starting to get into their stride right at the halfway point of the season. Like you said, Neville is new, and the players, there are a couple new guys here. So yes, it was going to take time. I don't think anyone thought it would be a 6-game losing streak, but it takes time. And you see what's going on with Atlanta. They fired their coach, Gabriel Heinze, after 13 games. I know there were some other circumstances, with the water thing and whatnot, but it's not, coaching is not as simple as cut and paste. It takes time. You see it in other sports. It takes time to really build chemistry with the guys and the new players and Neville and his coaching staff and bringing new pieces in. And about the playoffs, I think Inter Miami's only about 8 points off the seventh place spot, which is crazy considering the amount of games that they've lost. But it's MLS and anything could happen. But it's a very good thing that Inter Miami are hitting their stride right at the perfect time.
All right, two last questions before we let you go. Alex Windley, make sure you follow her, AAW_1998. They want to know on the chat board, are you a Dolphins fan?
Yeah, I do watch some football. I would consider myself a Dolphins fan. I'm trying to get.
You got orange on.
Yeah, I do.
How about that?
Yeah, I would say I am a Dolphins fan. I watch them every Sunday. I'm still getting into the football rules, but I definitely do tune into them. I'm a Tua fan. Hopefully, Doll fans can give them a bit of time because playing quarterback is difficult. So yes, I am a Dolphins fan.
All right, there you go. So there you go. For those of you listening that you were asking, and then tell them about the Heron Outlet. When does the podcast drop so you can talk about it?
Yes, the Heron Outlet every Thursday. Ian Hest, Austin Robillard, and we discuss everything Inter Miami, everything soccer. This Thursday, we will have a new podcast out discussing, Inter Miami's revolution, this back three, Neville's tactics, this winning streak, Indiana, anything soccer related, anything Inter Miami related, we cover on the podcast.
There you go, the Heron Outlet. Make sure you subscribe, all right? And support Alex and follow her on Twitter at AAW_1998. Alex, as always, thank you for the time.
Thank you so much, Big O.
Always appreciate it. You got it. Be good, Alex. There you go. Alex Windley. Good stuff there, as always. We love Alex Windley joining us here on the program. She does excellent work there. Thank you all out there for tuning in, as always.